Bird nerds! How is it going, everyone? Just hanging out here with Mikey. Man, it's been a crazy few weeks. Been out on several different trips for work and family. We've got young kids, they're all in sports, and so every evening after work is just completely jammed. So I have not been able to give you guys much of an update on any of the birds. And a lot has happened. We've had quite a few babies. We've had quite a few new birds. What else, Mikey? I think that's about it. A few changes throughout the aviary, things like that. So I just want to give you guys an update on that. I also, my chickens are flapping their wings, kind of going crazy. Also wanted to give you guys kind of a quick wrap up of where we're at on the breeding season. We're coming to an end. And I wanted to give you guys the top 2 secrets to my success in breeding finches and my larger parakeets, button quail. I've had a really good year this year breeding some really hard species of birds. So I just wanted to share with you my top 2 secrets and how it can help you guys in the upcoming breeding seasons. Okay, before we jump into it, just wanted to give a shout out to our new sponsor, New Zealand. If you guys haven't checked out their website, go to newzealand.com, check out their products. They are working feverishly to get some awesome products there, not only nutritional products, but play toys, etc. for all ranges of birds. They're working on getting quite a few products in for finches. I know a lot of you that watch this channel have finches, but they also have quite a few other products, nutritional supplements for larger birds, larger hookbills, medium-sized hookbills. Really, they've got a wide range that covers it all. If you guys haven't already, go in and try the new seed, the new Hagen Finch Premium Mix. That's what I am currently using, and my birds love it. And that's part of one of my secrets that I'm gonna share with you guys to success later on in the video. But super awesome website, good program, great sponsor. If you guys haven't already, go in, get some seed, get some products, use the code BIRDBRAINS for 10% discount. And more to come down the road. We got some exciting things that are going to be coming up these next few weeks that we're really excited about and excited to share with you guys. And it's going to benefit you and your birds. So go and check that out if you guys haven't already. Appreciate your support. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ordered anything from their website yet, and or if you plan to, so that we can make sure we get some Bird Nerd merchandise and Bird Brains merchandise sent out your way, because I'd love to hear that and show you guys our love and appreciation when you support us. So thank you. Also, if this is your first time listening to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We've had quite a few new subscribers lately, and I love it. Welcome to the Bird Nerd family. That's all I can say. It's a channel where we share nothing but our love and successes about our birds. We also talk about some trials, don't we, Mikey? And some hardships. All things on owning a bird, whether it's a little tiny bird, big, large cockatoo, doesn't matter. We try to cover it all on this channel. So if you guys have not subscribed yet, click that button right now. Welcome to the family, guys. Appreciate you. All right, Mikey, let's get into it. You want to sit up on my shoulder? My hand's getting kind of tired. Yeah? Come on. So we are coming to the end of our breeding season. We are mid-September. Here in Utah, the temperature has cooled down quite a bit. We're now in mid-70s, low 80s most part of your day. Mid-70s consistently now. Evenings are getting down into your low 50s. And it's starting to cool off, and the birds are starting to feel it. So a lot of my birds that are outside in my aviary have slowed down their breeding quite a bit. I just fledged a few more shaft-tails, and I think I've got one nest of zebra finches out there, and other than that, everyone else has stopped. and I'm slowly starting to take down nest boxes and bring them in. Now inside here in the bird room, I still have, let me show you guys over here, I still have my starfinches set up for breeding. I've got 2 full nest boxes in there, and they're feeding the babies, guys. Been a huge struggle this year. If you guys watched any of the previous videos, really had a hard time getting my stars to eat or feed their babies, and I think we figured out the success there. Also have some Boolean finches up there, the very top right. They've got a nest full of babies as well that they're feeding, and I'll get some pictures and clips to share with you guys throughout the video, just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm trying, especially my starfinches, I'm trying to leave them alone as much as I can, but I'll try and get a quick little sneak peek of some clips of their babies in there for you guys so you can see them. I also have some society finches up top that just weaned some star babies, shaft-tail babies, and Boolean babies. And those were all just kind of one-off random nest boxes that either the parents stopped sitting on the eggs or they had tossed the chicks, and I had some society finches as a backup. Society finches are good. Now, I'm not going to say go out and buy 100 pairs of society finches and foster all your birds. That's not what we want. We want our birds to be able to be parent raised by their parents, but sometimes with some of our harder, more difficult species, that's not always the case. And you either come down to 2 options when the parents decide not to feed them. Put them under society finches if they're ready, or hand feed. And I definitely don't have time to hand feed birds. I barely have time to give you guys a video. So that is out of the, not an option right now, right? And so I do have 2 pairs of society finches that I've set up and have put a few birds underneath them that the parents either tossed or, like I said, decide not to sit or feed, and they're successfully hand raising them. So we've got 2 star babies. One is a red face, one's a yellow face. We've got 2 Boolean chicks and 1 shaft-tail chick, which I actually thought was a zebra finch chick. And now that it's feathered up, it is a shaft-tail. So it's a neat little surprise there. And that shaft-tail baby will be split to either fawn or silver. So excited there. That's going to be a win in my book. Trying to breed a little bit more of the fawns and the shaft-tails or fawns and silvers in my shaft-tails. I think they're a beautiful mutation, and I'd like to get a few more of them. So now that we're winding down the breeding season, some of the successes that we've had, guys, we've had a killer year. And if you guys watched Jay and I's podcast this last week, we kind of talked about that a little bit. But just wanted to highlight some of the species and the chicks that I've been able to raise. First of all, my biggest wins, the hardest birds that I have right now, that I view as the most difficult ones to breed, are my Amadina chicks. They did really well for me this year. I had several clutches of multiple babies each clutch for the most part. Fledged quite a few different babies from 3 different pairs. So really hit the money on that one. And I'll tell you one of my successes for them. Starfinches, finally got them going. And I think I figured out the secret sauce for them. My Boolean finches, they started off slow this year, but they are closing out strong. Got a few different clutches of Boolean chicks that I'm excited about that we've been able to hopefully kick out. They're still in the nest, so hopefully they'll finish weaning them. If you guys could hear, you can hear one baby calling. Every time the parents get close to the nest box, it gets louder and louder in its calls. So hopefully, you guys might be able to hear that. Zebra finches, we killed it, right? And those ones are pretty easy to breed. Borks, I did really well with my Borks this year. Had 3 different breeding pairs. All 3 of them produced very nicely for me. Some awesome colors. I had rosies, I had normals, phthalo, opals, rubinos, lutinos. What am I missing? I think that was about all the colors of babies that I had this year. So really good success there. The areas that I did not have any success this year. Blue-faced parrot finches, I got them to lay eggs and sit on the nest about half the time, and then they would jump off and the eggs would die. So did not have any success there. I didn't have any success this year with my red-faced parrot finches either. I did have success with them last year, but this year I tried a little bit different breeding model with them in kind of the colony setting, and it just didn't work out. So next year we'll split them up into individual pairs and we'll breed them that way, similar to what I did with the starfinches this year. So no success in the red or blue-faced parrot finches. My scarlet-breasted parakeets, I did not have, well, I had success with them early in the year, in the winter time. So December, January, February time, I did have my one pair. They produced 2 different clutches from me, or for me. 6 chicks did really well, and then I pulled them out, and we're just waiting for the babies now to grow up to mature. Usually it's about 2 years of age is when they're fully sexually mature and can breed. So we'll maybe try next summer with a couple of them that'll be about 1.5 years old. If not, we'll have to push it to the next winter, summer, and get some breeding going with them. But I did get some new birds from my great bird friend in Montana. She's got beautiful selection of works and splendid scarlet-breasted parakeets or splendids, some Goulian finches, and so I was able to bring some of those birds home from one of my trips with my family this last week. So really excited about that. We'll throw in some clips of them as well. Trying to think who else we got up there in the aviary. Canaries. We did not do good with canaries, and I've mentioned that many times with you guys. The reason why I did not have success with them is I did not fully turn my lights down in the wintertime. I bred my birds throughout the winter, and it threw off my canaries big time. And I really think it threw off my Goulian finches as well. They just did not come into breeding condition how I wanted them to, how they usually do. So this winter, we are going to do a hard reset. I'm not going to be breeding any of my birds throughout the wintertime. And I want all of them to molt. I want all of them to reset. And then come springtime, it's going to be a madhouse. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to breed all of the species that I need to. Now, I have thinned out quite a few of my birds. I've thinned out most of my zebra finches. I've only just got a couple pairs of zebras right now. Really the most select ones. I have my dominant silver pair, and then I've got a couple orange-breasted pairs that are beautiful, that I'm really trying to kind of specialize in those colors. And so I've thinned out my zebra finches. I've thinned out my shaft tails quite a bit. I've thinned out my Amadina finches quite a bit. So when we come into next year, those ones I'll probably still breed in the aviary. They seem to do better in the aviary, but then it'll open up some of my smaller breeding cages for my parrot finches and my star finches and my scarlet-breasted parakeets. So we're going to kind of see how we can mix and mingle. My Borks did really well if I put my Borks in my larger breeding flights with like a pair of zebra finches or a pair of Goulian finches, because my Borks are great. They do not bother anyone at all. They pick their nest and they're good with it. My scarlet-breasted parakeets are a little bit more aggressive, so I may need to have them be by themselves, so that'll be a little bit tricky. Anyways, we'll have to kind of mix and match a little bit and see how we can play it by ear to make sure that we have a successful breeding season all year round. Who else do we got back there, Mikey, that I'm missing? I think that's all my species. I did have my button quails. I did thin out quite a few of my button quails. And I still am selling their eggs on eBay, but they have slowed down with it being wintertime and have not been laying eggs as much. So I haven't posted any eggs on eBay if anyone's wondering. If you guys are interested in some eggs, let me know. Reach out to me. Drop some comments down below. That's the best place that I can respond to you, or on my Instagram page on BirdNerd4. Reach out. I do have about 3-4 weeks left in the window for me to ship. I do have some extra Borks that I'll be selling. I've got some extra zebra finches. I will have a few extra star finches with these babies. So if you guys are interested in them, let me know, and I'd be happy to send them out to you. Okay, so 2 secrets to success that I've had this year. And I don't think it's really anything out of the norm. It really is just something that I've had to tweak and that I've had to fine tune. The first one is nutrition. Now, when I just say nutrition, I'm not talking about one specific thing, but for some of my species, it really was one specific thing that tipped the scale, that made the difference, that took you over the edge. So if you're having birds that are laying eggs and not incubating, laying eggs, hatching them out, but not feeding the chicks, laying eggs, hatching them out, feeding the chicks, but then tossing the chicks, fledging the chicks, and then the chicks die when they fledge. So a lot of that comes down to the nutritional aspect. Now, I do have several different things that I feed to my birds on a nutritional aspect that helps. First one, I mentioned it in the first of the video. The Hagen Premium Finch Mix Blend is awesome. It has so many different types of seeds, over 20 different types of seeds, and the birds love it. It will cover all ranges of finches for whatever you have and for what their needs are. Usually I've seen finches like thumb through the seed to find their favorite ones. I have not yet seen a single one of my birds do that. They eat everything in there because it's the seed that they're looking for. So a good seed diet is part of that nutritional success. Second one is egg food. Now I did just make some new egg food because I got to feed my star babies. And I did also cut up some cucumber and some apple. Now your finches don't necessarily eat or need a lot of fruit, but every once in a while I like to give it to them for a treat. My borks, my scarlet-breasted parakeets, my cockatiels, they love fruit. They love the big vegetables. I got a bunch of cucumbers. I'll put these in here. These things will be gone in about 30 minutes. They will attack them. They love them. They're good for them. They're just a nice little snack. So this isn't so much necessary for breeding successfully, but part of their nutritional aspect to keeping healthy birds. Now, my egg food, I did just make some up. I've got bits of corn in there. I've got a nice big mix of greens in there. So it's got a little bit of spinach, it's got kale, it's got romaine. I can't remember what the other type. See, like Mikey's like, please give it to me. You can see my carrots down below. I've got chopped broccoli and all that, and then hard-boiled egg blended in there. I haven't mixed it up yet. And then I do put in there pearl morbide. That is a substitute for soaked seed. So I put that in there. And then I also do the dry Hagen egg food mix. I'll mix that in there as well. Now you can provide that separately. Some birds like to do that separately, or you can mix it. That's totally fine. I do have some freeze-dried mealworms and botfly larvae. That's been really good and helpful for my Amadina finches. A lot of your insectivorous finches, that's been really well. And then my secret to the star finches that helped tip the scales was actual soaked seed. Now let me show you what I've got here. So I've got just a little strainer, and I've got some soaked seed in there, and it's already sprouted. So I take a pinch full of this and I throw it in with the stars, and they devour it. They feed it to their chicks very well. And then I also have more soaked seed in there that is in the process. So as soon as I'm done with this one will be ready to feed. Star finches, this right here, guys, this is what made the difference. I still give them, you want some? I still give them my egg food every day. And with the star finches, I've actually been giving it to them 3 times a day just because they've been so finicky for me. Like, they've legit been so hard to breed for me this year, which is crazy because stars typically aren't that hard to breed, but you know, it is what it is. Right here, secret to success, soaked seed. Now you got to be careful with the soaked seed. You got to make sure that you're rinsing it out thoroughly multiple times a day, so that, and keeping it in more of a cooler climate so that it doesn't ferment or go get a lot of bacteria growth in there and stuff like that, because then it can be harmful for the birds. If it starts to smell funny, it's probably too far gone, but if it's just smells like wet seed, you're still good. So the other part for my Amadinas that helped tip that scale was the live food. I did provide live mealworms and live botfly larvae. And I did order that in just through a couple different websites, and the smaller the mealworm, the better. So that was big for them. So that was the first part of my secret sauce. The second part of my secrets to success this year was knowing and understanding my species and what their needs are. And what I mean by that, like I said, my parrot finches, I tried to breed them in a colony setting this year. Did not work. And I'm not saying that does not work. This is just my situation. I have more males than females, and my males overpower the females. They have a very, very aggressive breeding ritual, and it just didn't work. The females would nest, they'd lay eggs, they were fertile, and the males would jump on them and push them out and make them restart the nest. So they just kind of repeated that cycle. So next year I will be putting them in individual cages. My star finches, I tried to breed them last year out in my aviary. I had several of them build nests. None of them really had any success, and that may be because I had zebra finches in there, and the zebra finches could have disturbed their nests. they're really finicky. Once people disturb their nest, they're kind of done, and they start over. So I did put my starfinches in individual cages. Hi, buddy. So really just your housing. Know the right nest box that they use or nest basket, and the right cage. I did breed my Gouldian finches this year up here in a colony setting, and it worked pretty good for me. It had a lot of competition, and it sparked a lot of my females and males to get going because they saw the others breeding. So kind of had that competitive factor in there. So, and I've usually always bred my Gouldian finches individually in the past and have had good success with that. So I think really what it is look at your birds. What pairs do you have that you're trying to breed, and what is the setting that you have ready for them? Do you have an individual cage? Do you have an aviary setting? And kind of look at that and learn from it. If one year one thing worked and the other didn't, great. If one year you see that they're breeding great and then another pair of birds tossed their babies or disrupted their nest, maybe remove that pair of birds the next breeding season, or etc. So just watch your birds, be aware of their needs, and if you can meet those, the birds' needs are simple. You give them the right diet and the right cage or nest box, they'll do the rest. They don't need you there every second of the day to touch things, to fine-tune things. They'll do all that on their own as long as you provide the needed resources and tools. So I think those are my top 2 secrets to success this year. Did a lot of changes with different species of birds to try new things. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. Nutritional, that's huge. Get that egg food going, get that calcium going. Soaked seed was a big one for me this year. The small tiny insects were a big one for me this year with my Amadinas. I don't like insects, I'm not a big insect guy, and I've always tried to stay away from them for that, and I'm really busy. But that really worked for the Amadinas, and they did very well for me with me just throwing out some mealworms about 3 times a day with the egg food and the soak seed. And I mean, they pound those mealworms. They're like, my hand's not even away from the food dish before they're flying down and eating them. That's when you know they have babies in the nest. So they did really well. But overall, it's been a great year, good, successful year, and hoping to have some more come. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We are coming out of breeding season right now, so we're going to come into the winter time where we're going to reduce our lights, reduce temperatures. I'm going to be pulling nest boxes down, cages out, cleaning, deep cleaning. Let me know if you guys have any questions around those processes, and we can cover those throughout the winter months. Or, you know, come close to the end of this year, we're going to start ramping back up into the breeding season, so at least my canaries will be ready to go first in February time, and hopefully we can start getting some babies from them and some chicks going. So let me know. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for subscribing if you guys have already. Thanks for going on to New Zealand and ordering their products. Let me know if you have, and let me know what the results were. Did you like them? Did you not? Did you get some Bird Brains merch from ordering? All of the above. So let us know. Use the code Bird Brains, and hopefully that'll help you guys out and get you some of those products at a little cheaper price. And what do you think, Mikey? Is that it? Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.